Waking up is not about self-actualization. One of the biggest realizations I've had and the hard-hitting truth I had to face and accept over the years was that not everyone is ready to wake up, nor will there be a collective awakening anytime soon. There are vastly different levels of being and soul potential among 8+ billion people on this planet. There's also nothing wrong with it in light of the evolution of consciousness. We all one, but we are not all the same. No one can be awakened by another, nor can anyone force another to wake up. Free will needs to be respected, even if it is the free will to stay asleep, dreaming to be awake. You can only give to the ones who ask sincerely and spread some seeds of awareness. Some may blossom, some won't. Oftentimes it's like throwing pearls in front of swine. Moreover, the ones of us who are sincerely engaged in the awakening process and truth-seeking know that it is far from easy, for a true awakening goes way beyond any informational, intellectual, external understanding of the matrix, which usually ends up in externalizing all evil, a trap in itself. It takes inner struggle, conscious suffering, not giving in to the mechanical drives and desires, effort, integrity, self-responsibility, and radical self-honesty with sincerity, patience, and humility to cross the threshold out of the ego slumber of the false conditioned personality, to awaken and free oneself from the entropic forces of the matrix, which also work through us. It's not what most New Age and corrupted spiritual teachings and motivational self-help advocates talk about who promise you health, wealth, love, and bliss. It's not a mindset or being the best you can be. Awakening is not about self-actualization, chasing dreams, seeking pleasure, and fulfilling desires. Nor is it simply about being an individual or a self-improvement program, which most often aims at perfecting the false self. It's about becoming individuated. Big difference. The former is still a slave to the ego personality with all its desires. The latter has become a vessel for God and merged personal will with divine will, acting out God's will beyond mere ego gratification. As Bud Harris wrote in Becoming Whole, it is much more than firming up, losing weight, having more positive thoughts, or solving problems and getting on with your life. Individuation is not self-actualization. The mythologist Joseph Campbell noted that self-actualization is for people with nothing better to do, people who don't know their personal myth or deeper purpose in life. But no steps can be skipped. Many of us still need to work on becoming individuals, separating ourselves from the consensus state of the masses and past attachments, and exhausting all personality-based desires before the soul makes the call, takes charge, and embarks on the path of individuation. And there's nothing wrong with that. The path is just a path, unique to each of us. But there are detours, distractions, and sometimes dead ends, as well as many temptations that test the seeker. I certainly wouldn't claim to be fully awake in the word's true meaning from an esoteric spiritual perspective. Moreover, and most importantly, before we can truly wake up, we need to admit and truly see within ourselves how asleep we are first. Realizing our mechanical and conditioned way of thinking, feeling, and doing, which is influenced by our unconscious trauma, shadow, and wounding, under the illusion of control and free will, with various occult forces working through us, moving and manipulating us like puppets on strings. It's what Gurdjieff called coming face to face with the horror of the situation, which leads to the necessary disillusionment, the shamanic descent into the underworld to engage in the grain work and be reborn in the true self. It's important to note that this process of individuation and awakening does not imply rejecting materialism, money, or the physical world. Those rigid ascetic ideas are the other side of the coin of corrupted spiritual and religious teachings over thousands of years that have been used for social control, implementing the Matrix poverty program, which is a big topic in itself.